Hello you beautiful peeps, my name is John, welcome to my channel. Today this is part 4 of the series working on your Alarlo AM-X12, and today we're going to be talking about steering. Now there's going to be a couple of things in here for the more advanced that will be very basic, but please just bear with me. There's going to be 4 specific bits, maybe 5 sections, so let's get straight into it. First one is very basic. Turn on your controller, turn on your car, and you see how it's facing the wrong way. Ooh! Don't press the accelerator. Okay, left, right. But yeah, it still doesn't go back to center. That's because on your controller, and all controllers should have this, you have an adjustment here, and as you see, I can put it right dead center, and as you can see, there you go. So that's number 1. Number 2. This is where the RC comes with the wheels not straight. As you see in this instance, it's facing outwards. They can sometimes face inwards. A lot of RC companies actually set them slightly out or slightly in because they believe that it helps a little bit. I like to keep mine nice and straight because I like them to go as fast as possible. So the way to actually adjust it is a very, very simple thing. Not the upper one here. This is called the tie rod. So it's not that one that we're talking about. It's the steering arms here. And as you can see, they've got a tiny little dot in them. I just use a small Allen key and you just turn them either inwards or outwards. Now, in this instance, the ball joints pop off, but I will just try and do 2 rounds. Oh. There we go. And that's now nice and straight again. Both are straight. So that's number 2. Okay, number 3 is again a very common problem. The steering's all the way to the left there. You turn on your controller, turn on your ESC, and you see it's all the way turning to the left there. So you go to your adjustment here, and as you can see, I can adjust it further to the left, but when I do it all the way to the right, it's still not center, and that's because the actual arm here is not straight. So what you need to do is firstly turn off your car just for the second. You need to make sure that the steering trim firstly is all the way in the center, which as you can see, mine is now dead center on that one. And then we have to just get into the steering arm. If you're looking for a different model, you should be able to find your steering arm there. On this one, you've got to take out 1, 2, 3 screws there. Very handy with a little, I'll put this link in the description below. Just very, very handy. And now you can see that gives you access to the steering arm there. What you do is undo it all the way and just pop the arm off just for the second. Now, turn it back on because as you know, we set it to the center, but the thing was off at that point. So turn it on and now that's gone right back to the center. So what you do is you just put your car down and just make sure that the wheels are as central as possible and then put it back onto the servo. We know that the servo is dead center. We've all set that now. So just gently hold your finger there just so it doesn't pop off. Come to your trim there and just double check that you can adjust it both left and right, which as you can see I can. So now I can turn that off. I can now get the screw and put that back in and then put that back on. Done. Okay, number 4 again is a very, very simple one, so it's worth doing. The problem is that when you're turning on your controller, the wheels aren't turning very quickly at all. Double check that your screws aren't too tight. Let me show you. Oh, I've done that the wrong way, but there you go. So as you can see, that the servo itself is turning, but this is not. So, undo some screws. Not too much, obviously. You don't want them flapping around. Just give them a bit of a unscrew. and we're back to normal operating standards. I know it was this one that was too tight because I just tightened it myself. So that's a very basic thing that actually happens quite a lot. Again, I've received a couple of RCs that have got problems with the steering. It's just because the screws are too tight. And then on to the last one. And last but not least, number 5, which is that the steering servo appears, again like number 4, to not be strong enough to turn the wheels. So as you can see, similar symptoms. Now, if you're sure 100% that you've loosened all of the screws and it's still having this problem, then it's more than likely the steering servo saver. Got there in the end. And as you see down here, actually let me turn that off. Down here, there is a small column here on the steering there, and it's got a little spring on it. And basically what that does, actually, I can show you. Here's what I prepared earlier. This is exactly the same design. This is from the WO Toys, but as you can see, this is a steering servo saver. Got there in the end. And it's got the spring on it, as I said, down there, and basically this sits here like that. The steering arm goes in from the right-hand wheel, and that goes to the servo. But as you see, if it's too loose, like what this one is, it's very easy for that to do that. And what happens is when your front wheels hits a rock or something like that, the shock goes through and it does this. Now, if you didn't have this mechanism here, that goes straight onto the servo and breaks the gears. So this here is supposed to give a little bit to give you, you know, some free rein to hit things and not break your servo every 5 minutes. But if it's too loose, then it just doesn't, as the steering servo is trying to turn, it's not actually turning the wheels. So as you see, if I tighten this up now look how much harder it is. So when that's turning, it's actually going to turn the wheels. Do it even more, do it too much, and now you're going to break your servo anyway, because it's like you don't have a servo saver here at all. So it has to be about, I'd say about 4 millimeters up, like so. And as you can see on my one here, it's all the way down. So the way to fix that is very, very simple. You have to undo 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. And then one of the steering arms here. Make sure you take this little bushing with it as well. As you can see, it's come off from there, and that's what it looks like. So that wheel can go out of the way. Then we can just move that top deck out of the way and pull up this whole column here. Just make sure that that's out of the way. Be aware there is a bearing here at the top that will come falling out. So just drag it up. And then you've got the steering arm here, pop that off, and the servo arm there, pop that off. Didn't fall out this time, that's strange. So as you can see how weak this is. Okay, so tighten it up. Not too much. That's very good indeed. So put it back. Now you can attempt to do this when it's in position. It's so difficult, I've never managed to do it. The steering arm on the other side is popped off, but that's good. I can show you how to put that on as well. So that's back in position, making sure that the bearing on both the top and bottom are on and in. Why is that not going down? Is the bottom one not in position? Come on. See the bearing down there, the bottom one. Excellent. Nice. Then the other side popped out, so we'll just pick that up. Ooh, come on, out you come. There There you go. You see how that bearing slid up, slide that back down, and you've again got a bearing on the top and the bottom. Make sure that arm is across and slide that down. So now we can put that back down and put the screws back in. Again, not too tight. And then this one goes back on there's 2 holes here. It goes on the outer one there. So I can do that straight away. Nice. Put the steering arm back onto the ball joint underneath there. Excellent. And then that servo arm back on as well. There we go. So that's still on. When I hold it down, you see we've got full power back as well. Be aware that this is exactly the same setup that's on the WLToys 144001, 124016, all the way to 124019, and actually the Eachine EAT14 has the same system as well. 144010, the brushless version of the 144001. So that is basically all of the steering problems that you should encounter. The next video is going to be getting down to these little monkeys down here as simply as possible, because it is actually quite difficult because there's 2 screws all the way underneath. And currently there is a competition to win one of these beauties, $250 worth. So I'll put a little card somewhere and a link in the description below if it's around, what's that, the 19th of March. After that, the competition is over. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Take care, stay safe. Bye bye.